dreams have always fascinated us immensely. More than just finding out what dreams mean, there is a need to know the reason behind their occurrence. What causes them to appear at night? How important are they for our everyday lives? And whether they can actually predict the future. I am Anisha Vijayan, and I am on a journey to find out the science behind dreaming. What is that one thing that we all share in common? Dreams. No matter your race, religion or gender, we all dream.
I'm in the metro, traveling towards Mall of the Emirates with my family, and we're in the foremost compartment. And we're just about to pass Burj Khalifa when there is this airplane with this really box-like structure under it, and in the middle there is this round thing which is almost like a grinder. So it's approaching the Burj Khalifa and we think it's going to collide into the Burj Khalifa, but it skips the Burj Khalifa and comes right on top of the metro, and it passes over our compartment and goes to the other side and swoops down, and the grinder in the middle of that box grinds through the metro and just tears everything into pieces just before my compartment.
Why are dreams so interesting? Dreams combine, at least from what I understand, facts and fantasies to create a story in our mind. So why are they interesting?
I think dreams are a premonition, like it symbolizes something that's going to happen, or it's something that's always been in your head and you keep thinking about it, comes in a dream, or something that has happened but you get a new perspective about it. Then some dreams are just stupid, they don't mean anything.
Dreams are based on facts and your imagination. I mean, like people say, you know, dreams are when you're sleeping, your unconscious mind is working, you know, and you know, they say your deepest fears, your deepest desires come out during your dreams. So yes, I believe dreams are real. You know, dreams are based on something. You just can't dream without anything.
For me, dreams are important because they're a transition from one day into another. Every morning when I wake up, and if I remember my dream, to myself I have a story to tell. And I think my dreams, or dreams in general, are a combination of elements from your life, your day, your experiences, and maybe your subconscious mind. So I dream every night. It's a very important part.
Dream symbols are the images that are featured in a dream. A burning paper, seeing your mother, or a cloudy sky are some of the symbols you find in your dreams. The brain is an amazing organ, and it is fascinating to discover the relationship between dreams and the brain and what goes on while we sleep. So, to find out more about this bond, I'm going to Dr. Philip John, a specialist psychiatrist.
Well, why do dreams occur? Dreams occur because it's absolute normal part of sleeping. When we sleep, we go into a stage when we dream, and that's a stage when the brain comes into activity, and then the brain is able to balance emotions, our inner life, including the thinking processes. That's what happens during the stage of dreaming. That's a stage when the brain gets active in a way.
What are the different stages of sleep?
The first stage is the light sleep. You go into some sort of drowsiness, At that time, you get easily aroused by a little noise outside or the phone ringing in the next room. And then you go into the stage 2 if you don't get disturbed. And the stage 2, the sleep induction occurs. You're actually going to get into the true sleep, which is stage 2 and stage 3. In 90 minutes, stage 1, stage 2 and stage 3 and 4 of the deep sleep is over. That's the time when you sleep like a dog. And then there is an arousal that happens, and then you go into what is called the REM sleep, which is only 5 to 10 minutes in the first 90 minutes. After those 5 minutes, you again slip back into stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, deep sleep again. You go through the 90 minutes again, and almost as the next 90 minutes gets over, you go into REM phase again. So the brain is slowly getting active. In the REM phase, dreams occur.
What happens in the brain when we are dreaming?
Well, a lot of things. As you know, the mind is generated by the brain. The mind is in the brain. We know which part of the brain produces aggression or sadness, or which part of the brain looks after pleasure. And we also know that there are chemical systems which are in charge of each of these functions. All of them, they interact, and it's the connectivity of the brain that produces this. In the REM phase, it's important for us to understand the brain becomes more active, so it does a lot of learning functions. It consolidates what happened the previous night, it consolidates what happened the previous day, it consolidates the memories, it sorts out memories and makes us ready. And all this has to do with the learning processes. So all these areas come together, the brain gets activated, unlike in the NREM phase when actually the brain goes to sleep. So there is an activity which increases. This is not a resting phase, it's a very active phase, and which is very vital for the individual's next day being.
I want to know, what is the modern science take on dreams?
So there have been a couple of sort of neurological brain-based theories, and they really talk about this idea that dream states are just random firings. The other neurological theory is kind of this idea that your brain is on kind of standby, or it's a kind of test run for consciousness. So as you're kind of about to wake up, it needs to just test run, make sure everything's kind of working again before you fully wake up.
How important are dreams still considered?
Dreams inherently in themselves may well have no physical or biological evolutionary function or importance. But that doesn't mean that they're not important to the individuals that think about them, that have them, that experience them. It doesn't mean it's not important to the cultures that use them in certain contexts.
It's an empty road and I'm walking straight, and I see at far a tree, a dead tree, completely dead tree, and I see something hanging from there, like a body. And I walk towards it, thinking that the person might be alive and I could do something, and I walk towards it and I see there's a little wind, so it's like the body is swinging. So and when the body turns, I see it's myself that's hanging from the tree, and that's the dream that I see the most.
The most memorable dream I had was a cat. It was about a cat, which I got it for my birthday gift, and I was really excited when I got it. The cat was small, it was very cute, and it was white in color. It had brown strips on it. It was very nice. I have a book at home which is in Farsi that I was reading about it. It writes about dreams. So when I opened the page, I expected something very good, but I came to know that the dream did not mean so good. According to what I read, cat in a dream mean that a robber came to your house, stole something very important from you, either from your workplace or your house. Then I was really upset. I just closed the book. Then there was one more thing, that if I see a cat and I just remove the skin of it alive, that means I caught the robber and I got my belongings back. But this thing did not happen.
They say, they get a monkey to draw a picture, and then you get these people talking about how wonderfully interpretive they are, and it's got all these emotions, and it was a monkey. And it's that sort of thing that's the problem with this traditional view of symbolic interpretations. However, we can look at the content of a dream. So, you know, if we interpret someone's dream in the context of them as an individual, not universal symbolic systems, but them telling us, and certainly their recall of their dreams is telling us a lot about what they think is important at the moment, what they think, you know, what preoccupies them, the people, the places, all of those are real, you know, all of these are familiar things. And so they can tell us a lot about a person's personality.
Some dream beliefs, like placing a knife under the foot of the bed, may scare away nightmares. Or if you sleep with a piece of wedding cake under your pillow, you would dream of your future mate.
What we feel actually is that you shouldn't share some of the disturbing dreams with people who are very negative in life, who just talk negative about things, because once you talk to them about it, the dream turns out to be negative, even if it's supposed to be a good one for you.
And what causes different types of dreams?
There are intrinsic stimuli, that are internal stimuli, which get incorporated into the dream. For example, if a child has his bladder gets, his urinary bladder gets full in sleep, and if unfortunately he is in the REM phase, when his muscles are paralyzed, he can't go to the toilet, the brain sometimes incorporates the internal stimulus of the child needing to go to the toilet into the dream. So he imagines himself standing in front of the urinal, and then he wakes up and then he can go to the urinal. But sometimes you have this external stimuli getting incorporated into the dream. I have had several of these experiences because we have calls that come in the night. You have a phone call coming in the night, and you are in the dreaming state or the REM phase. Your muscles are paralyzed. You want to take the phone call, but you can't. So in the dream, there is an incorporation of the external stimulus of the phone bell, which gets incorporated into the dream, and then you wake up. And then when you wake up, so you take the call.
Okay, I don't know technically what it's called, but I know I can get myself to dream of something specific. Usually it's just before going to bed. I'm thinking of something, telling myself something, weaving a story and trying to place characters. It's usually me in relation with something I covet in my life. And when I fall asleep, that story turns into a dream and the visions just come. So I think I can get myself to dream of things and of situations, and I think that's really cool.
What we mean by lucid dream is that state of being self-aware while actually being in a dream. So you become aware of being a dream, but you don't wake up. Normally, when you become aware of being a dream, you wake up, and that's
exactly.
it. But the people that can hold that state of being aware of being a dream but not waking up, you know, this is what we mean by lucid dreaming. There is evidence that they exist. There is evidence that some people naturally seem to go into that state more than others. And there is evidence that we can train people to have lucid dreams.
I don't have any personal one which I can remember, but yes, I do remember my mom's. That's regarding my brother. She saw this dream before leaving for vacations for India, where she saw my brother and his principal standing up in the sky, and they both are just standing still, and my brother's tears are rolling down his cheeks. My mom is calling him down, but he was not ready to come. My mom was crying, even the principal was just standing seriously, and my brother was nodding, saying, "No, I don't want to come down." And there was another dream which my mom saw, where she saw my brother drowning and floating in the water. And it was all regarding my brother. she didn't discuss these dreams with us because she was very scared about it. And yeah, later on, these were all indications showing that, you know, my brother is gonna go away from us. He died after a few months. He drowned in the water when we left for India in a dam, and yeah, these were all indications actually in her dream.
My friend's mom gets prophetic dreams. If dreams are just a pattern in the brain, then what do these precognitive dreams mean?
Generally, that there is no evidence to support any of the sort of paranormal, precognitive, prophetic kind of approaches or things that happen to us. So a person has a prophetic dream, and of course to them it's an incredibly real and meaningful experience. But that is a single person, and again, from this kind of science point of view, when we look at the billions of dreams that happen every night, it's absolutely likely that one or two of those is going to actually predict the future in some way. It's going to look very like something that actually happens. You know, that's just chance, that's coincidence, that's how probability works. The other thing that we have to remember is that when someone reports a dream to us as prophetic, or as anything, we're not dealing with their actual dream. What we're dealing with is their memory of that dream, which the way that the memory works is that it gets biased, it changes, it gets influenced by what happens. So what may happen with some people that have prophetic dreams occasionally is that the event in the real world happens, and then they say, gosh, you know, that is exactly something I dreamed about last week. Now, there may have been similarities, but of course their memory of the dream is now influenced by what's actually happened in the event. So it's very difficult for us to ever know whether that original dream had anything like the real event.
Dreaming is one thing that always has and always will interest us.
But the search doesn't end here.
Someone once told me, you don't pay a price to dream, so dream on. You know, go off limits and do what you want to do, because you don't need to pay a price for dreams. So even if it's random, I'm not losing anything, but I'm just getting a story to tell. So I'll continue to dream.
The best thing about dreams is that fleeting moment when you are between asleep and awake, when you don't know the difference between reality and fantasy, when for just that one moment you feel with your entire soul that the dream is reality and it really happened.